My name is Michael Rogers, and in this presentation I will be addressing the nutrition-related epidemics that are rapidly deteriorating the health of Americans. By examining nutrition through the lens of scientifically sound research, we can establish a link between nutrition and the health and pinpoint factors that lead to or attribute to diseases and conditions. We can also assess the factors impacting food choices and develop strategies to help Americans overcome nutrition-related health roadblocks. Healthy eating habits have a positive impact on the health of our bodies throughout our lifespan, increasing life expectancy and lowering our risk of disease related to insulin resistance, obesity, and cancer, as well as many other health conditions. Nutrition can sustain and promote healthy aging, not only in late adulthood, but beginning in pregnancy and early childhood and extending throughout the lifespan. Unfortunately, the American population is experiencing a rapid decline in health due to an unhealthy diet. According to the CDC, 71.6% of adults age 20 and over are overweight or obese. Since the late 1950s, diabetes prevalence has increased 700%, and in the last 20 years, that number has doubled. Now, 1 in 3 people have prediabetes, and 90% of them don't even know they have it. Statistics like these have prompted research and investigation towards uncovering the road to nutritional health. Sound research and education can be used as tools to better understand nutritional health. Experts in nutrition study the way nutrients are used by the body and how nutrient-based diseases and conditions might arise. To make the best choice in diet, the public should have some understanding of how these processes play out as well. The Science of Fat Metabolism poster uses graphics to make these complexities of digestion more accessible by showing how sugar and carbohydrates are utilized and stored in the body. When you eat carbohydrates, they become glucose in your bloodstream. A certain amount of glucose is maintained in the blood to provide fuel for cells. To regulate blood sugar levels, insulin is released by the pancreas to open receptors in cells that allow glucose to be absorbed by the bloodstream into the cell for immediate use or to be stored as fat, which can be utilized as future energy. The presence of insulin in the bloodstream stops the body from using fat as an energy source. Simple carbohydrates and sugars create spikes in blood sugar, which lead to high levels of insulin being released. Having to constantly make high levels of insulin weakens the pancreas and wears down insulin receptors, making them insulin resistant. The excess glucose in the blood stream forces the pancreas to create more insulin, making insulin receptors less sensitive and further weakening the pancreas. In this state, cells can't convert excess sugar into fat, and blood sugar levels remain high, which can damage your nerves, blood vessels, and organs. Virtually every chronic disease has a link to insulin resistance. Obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, cancer, stroke, metabolic syndrome, and Alzheimer's. When sugar is dumped into the system, the body goes through a different metabolizing process that can lead to the problems I mentioned before and more. Sucrose and many other forms of sugar are made from glucose and fructose. The fructose molecule is metabolized by cells and is sent straight to the liver where it's converted into triglycerides, which is a difficult fat for the body to use as an energy source, so it is stored as visceral fat. When high levels of fructose are dumped into the liver, some of the converted fat can't escape the liver cells and results in non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. People with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease are more likely to die from cardiovascular disease as complications in the arteries and heart arise during the breakdown of fructose in the liver, causing increase in LDL and blood pressure, making tissues insulin resistant and increasing the production of free radicals, which are energetic compounds that can damage DNA and cells. Sugar is particularly problematic in our food marketplace because high levels of sugar are intentionally added by the food industry to formulate a product that is so delicious that the public will keep coming back for more. This is called the product's bliss point. This is problematic for three reasons. The food industry is not regulated on how much sugar they can add to a product, and therefore uses sugar in abundance regardless of its impact on public health. Number two, the food industry intentionally hides sugar in the ingredients listed under 72 different names, so you don't really realize how much sugar you are consuming. And number three, research points to sugar as being a food additive that is particularly addictive. One startling statistic reveals that an average American consumes somewhere between 2 to 3 pounds of sugar each week. Over the last 20 years, our national sugar consumption exploded by 26 pounds to 135 pounds of sugar per person annually. Compared that to the consumption of the late 1800s when the average consumption was 5 pounds per person per year. The Dietary Guideline Advisory Committee is a panel of nutritional experts who gather research guiding the dietary standards for the USDA. In their latest summary report in 2015, they stated that a healthy dietary pattern is higher in vegetable, fruit, whole grains, low non-fat dairy, seafood, legumes, and nuts, moderate in alcohol, lower in red and processed meats, and low in sugar-sweetened foods and drinks and refined grains. Additionally, strong evidence shows that it is not necessary to eliminate food groups or conform to a single dietary pattern to achieve healthy dietary patterns. Rather, individuals can combine foods in a variety of flexible ways to achieve healthy dietary patterns, and these strategies should be tailored to meet the individual's health needs, dietary preferences, and cultural traditions. Current research also strongly demonstrates that regular physical activity promotes health and reduces chronic disease risk. I would add that there are some foods and additives that should be limited and avoided altogether. Trans fats, highly processed foods, added sugar, and liquid fruit, and foods that provide no nutritional value. The factors affecting our food choices and eating behaviors lie in a complex web of interactions. The worst interactions can create or deepen health inequities. These increase poor health. There are individual factors affecting nutrition choice as well as sociocultural, environmental, commercial, governmental, and global influences. The government has the potential to bring about the largest and most impactful changes in research and our food system, but nutritional science is rapidly evolving. Media messages as well as government policies often give out-of-date information that conflict with science. Unfortunately, the food industry, instead of our government, seem to have the largest impact on our food system. Economically powerful multinational businesses influence our food choices, our access to food, the cost of food, our health education, governmental policies, and our media. The food industry uses deceptive marketing, government lobbying, and funding of scientific research that supports their agenda, which is to make their product cheaply and widely available regardless of the health impact on consumers. Unbiased and scientifically sound research on nutrition is imperative. The results found in this type of research are used to educate nutrition experts and consumers and are used to drive governmental funding and policy changes. Policy changes impact the food system in dramatic ways, as they can redirect the goal of the food industry to provide guidelines that can make health food affordable and accessible. The present state of the American marketplace and food system does not support public health, but instead contributes financial gain in thriving industries that flood the market with deceptive, unhealthy products. Perhaps the greatest and most challenging roadblock for consumers are caused by the food industry, which are insurmountable obstacles for the public to overcome without strong backing from the government. But according to research, no country has implemented a full range of updated, comprehensive, and evidence-informed strategies to encourage a healthier and more equitable food system. There is a steady rise in consumer demand for a healthier food system. The government could use public demands to reorder the goals of the food industry. The food industry could become a powerful partner in health for Americans instead of a hindrance. One positive change in our food system can cause a ripple of changes or the domino effect. The first step towards change could be taken by the American public, and it could play out as follows. Americans demand that steps be taken to enact a fundamental change to the current climate of our marketplace. Changes must reflect and support health and wellness goals, as well as promote trust and accountability between public, science, industries, and the government. 2. The unbiased and scientifically sound research could then be funded by our government. The results of such research would educate the public, healthcare providers, and the government on all aspects of nutrition. 3. National and local governments could spearhead and fund research with the goal of supporting national nutritional health through evidence-based policies. 4. Policies could be used to derail the food industry's unhealthy grip on our food, research, and current policies. 5. Funding and policies would then be aimed at making healthy foods more accessible and affordable than unhealthy foods. And 6. The government would then fund tools and programs that enable the public to make informed food decisions and overcome health roadblocks. The current state of our food system has left consumers wondering who to trust. Conflicting messages as well as public health programs that lack up-to-date research-based health messages take the path to nutritional health less easy to decipher. But with the right skills, it is not an impossible feat. Here are some ideas to consider when you are facing with the Goliath of research, health, and nutrition. Use critical thinking skills and evidence-based reasoning when considering research on nutrition. Look for current studies published in reputable scientific journals. To overcome personal roadblocks, assess your nutrition-related health needs and set health goals based on this. Setting goals, goal setting, encouragement, and a support system can be found through programs such as MyFitnessPal. There are many competing influences that affect our understanding of nutrition and food choices. Roadblocks to nutritional health can be overcome once we have easily accessible and sound scientific research. The implications of nutrition research can be profound as they will guide government policy changes that will reconstruct the American food system and provide strategies to promote wellness throughout the world.